Hello and welcome to this video that will give you a quick overview of the Wellbeing Notebook and everything that it contains. So, as you can see from the front cover, the Wellbeing Notebook is designed for the workplace primarily. It's designed like a standard A4 or A5, depending on which one you purchase, lined notepad, which means that when you're working in an office environment, for example, you'll be able to leave the book on your desk. It will blend in with the other stationery that you've got. There's no need for anybody to know that it's a wellbeing notebook. It just looks like any normal A4 notepad. As much as I'm very keen on raising awareness and speaking about mental health, I'm also aware that there are still stigmas at work in particular, and so we need to sort of be aware of that. And that's why I want to make sure that anybody who needs to look after their wellbeing at work, which I believe is everybody, that people feel comfortable using this book and knowing that those incompassionate work colleagues won't be snooping and asking questions. We've all got them. Right then, so if we open up the book, as you can see, it's like any normal notepad to start with. The first half of the book contains 100 GSM lined paper with margins. It's worth mentioning at this point that 100 GSM is the weight of the paper, so basically the quality of the paper. The majority of pads that you'll see on the market are at 60, 70 and 80 GSM, meaning they're a much more lightweight paper, lower quality basically. So this is a very good top end product in terms of just the notepad in itself. There's no recycled paper, there's none of that yellowy sort of ugly looking paper that you don't like writing on. So just as a normal notepad for work, this is a top end product. And the fact that the notepad is at the start, the note paper is at the start, means that if you are in a meeting, if you have got something at your desk and you just flick it open, you know, you can take notes, you can use it as an everyday tool for business. It's a simple notebook, so you don't have to worry about opening the book to take a note and there being a big colouring page on. It's as discreet as you like, so there's no need to worry about that. So it's a functioning notepad as well as a wellbeing notepad. So as you can see, there's a number of pages of note paper. Then if we flick to the centre, you'll see that we get the Wellbeing Workbook contents page. This is just listing what we've got in the book. We've got your daily affirmations, which is a list of positive affirmations. If anybody's ever looked at the Miracle Morning, maybe want to Google that. It sounds a bit cheesy, but it's a program that is designed to get your day off to a good start, a positive start, and daily affirmations is one of the concepts in the Miracle Morning. And it means writing down a list of things that are important to you, writing down a list of things that you want to achieve. A little bit like a mantra, if you like. You can design it however you like, whatever works for you. And it's something that you can look at throughout the day as part of this workbook. When things are getting stressful, you might be taking notes 1 minute in a meeting, and then you think, you know, this is all getting a bit much. You can flick to the back of the book and just give yourself that little pick-me-up that you need. So it's got your daily affirmations. It's got a positivity pledge, which we'll show you in a minute. And then the daily mood diary, which is a key part of the workbook. A year in pixels, again, we'll go through that. Stress relieving colouring sheets, pretty self-explanatory, I guess. And notes and scribbles, which is space for your own creativity. So let's carry on having a look. Daily affirmations. So as you can see, this is the place that you make a list of positive affirmations, things that you're grateful for, things that you want to achieve, and positive thoughts that give you energy. Whenever you feel in need of a boost, look at these affirmations and remember what is important to you and take control of your day. Now, I understand that sounds a little bit idealistic, and I used to sort of think the same, but since I've been using daily affirmations, I've felt so much better. It's just a way of reminding yourself what's important. It's easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day, especially when you're at work and things appear to be more important than they are. It's important for our well-being to understand at all times what is important to us, what we care about, and by doing this, we'll increase our well-being. Okay. The positivity pledge. I shall no longer allow negative thoughts or feelings to drain me of my energy. Instead, I shall focus on all the good that is in my life. I will think it, feel it and speak it. By doing so, I will send out vibes of positive energy into the world, and I shall be grateful for all the wonderful things it will attract into my life. So again, it's a motivational positivity pledge. It's something that you can just flick to and think, you know what, I can take that on board. Instead of feeling down about this meeting, instead of being annoyed by this work colleague. Let's not let people take my energy from me, and I think that's a very important point, the first point, which is what made this pledge appeal to me. No longer allow negative thoughts or feelings to drain me of my energy, and I'd add into that negative people. Negative people can drain you of your energy, and it's important to try and not let that happen. It's easier said than done, but you don't want external influences affecting your mental well-being. Negative people will sap your energy, and you need to try and zone out from them and make sure you focus on your own goals. The year in pixels, this is one of my favourite parts of the book actually. So this is basically a visual representation of your moods throughout the year. So as you can see, we've got the boxes. These represent the days of the month. It's tailored to each month, so that's why there's less in some. And you choose yourself what you want to record in there. I've chosen happy, content, anxious and angry, and I've given a colour for each of those and put a key at the bottom. But this is blank when you receive it, so you can choose what you want to put in there. And then I've gone through and I've recorded how I'm feeling on that day by simply putting a splash of colour. I wasn't actually using this book when I started doing my Yo in Pixels. I just had a scrap of paper, and I've since transferred it to the book since they've been produced. And I can really identify with the different periods in the year. I can look back and think, oh, okay, I know why I was feeling that at a particular time. For example, we moved house in February. That wasn't stressful in itself really, but we did have some issues with the estate agents and various things that went wrong that we found a couple of months later. And as you can see in April, there's some stress here, a lot of anxiousness. I've got anger, there's little bits of anger dotted through, but this is interactions with estate agents and solicitors, and I can remember that. The green here was my summer holiday, relaxed, and if you've been reading my blog, you'll know I haven't been in a great place the last month or so, so I've been very anxious over the last month. I think it's a really great way of identifying times of the year that sort of trigger your anxiety, trigger your different moods. So yeah, I think that's really useful. And then we move on to the daily mood diary. So there's 100 pages of the daily mood diary. This is something that you do on a daily basis, obviously, and it's got 2-hour increments throughout the day, 6 till 8 until 12 till 2. And again, you choose how you want to fill it in. I've chosen to use the same colours as in my Yo in Pixels. And I think the important thing here is to put a little note in the notes section so that you can identify what it is that has made you feel the way that you've recorded. So as an example, mine, I was happy between 6 and 10, or 6 and 8 because I was sleeping. Yeah. The school run makes me happy because I like spending time with the kids. And then you can see that during the middle of the day I got a bit anxious, and that was merely because I was starting to feel tired and drained. And then putting the kids to bed, content, because I was spending time with them again. I wouldn't go and say happy because it can be a nightmare sometimes. And then in the evening, after I'm chilling out with my wife, happy. So I think it's a really good way of raising your awareness of what your triggers are, what makes you happy, what makes you anxious, what makes you angry. And it's just another way of recording that. So the Yo in Pixels is like an overview, and this gives you the detail. This allows you to make notes and record exactly what it is that triggers you. So I'd suggest in the notes that you record the activities that you're doing, the people that you're interacting with, the different piece of work that you're doing, maybe even the food that you've been eating, because there are so many things that have an influence on our well-being. So if the more detail you record in there, the easier it is to look at what's influencing your moods. And it's also worth noting that it's good to look a few days back. So if you're feeling particularly anxious on a day, it might be worth looking a couple of days back to see what caused you any stress, because it doesn't necessarily manifest itself straight away, particularly in me, I know that. So you might be feeling anxious and you think, well, this has come from nowhere, nothing's happened today. But then you look at yesterday and there were a few periods where you've marked down that there were things that were upsetting you, and that could well be the trigger. So it's a good way of checking back and just making sure you understand how your mind is coping with different situations. So as I say, there's a number of these mood diary pages. It takes up the bulk of the book at the back. So if we flick past these, you will see that there are some colouring sheets. Again, I think these are a great way of relieving stress. It's pretty fashionable at the moment. to have colouring books, stress relieving colouring books, mindfulness colouring books, and I've had a couple myself, and I do find them really, really good. But in line with the theory of this book, I probably wouldn't have a stress relieving colouring book on my work desk. Again, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to, but let's be honest, again, the stigma is still there at work, and you don't really want people asking questions about why you've got a colouring book on your table. So by having these at the back, you can just flick to the back when you've got a quiet time at your desk, do a bit of colouring, and then get on with your day. If you're in a meeting, you can flick to the back, do a bit of colouring. You don't have to have pencils, colouring pencils with you at all times. You can use a pencil to do shading, you can use your biro. It really doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter how creative you are, how good you are at colouring. I'm not particularly good, I'm pretty proud of this one. So yeah, it's just another release. At your lunch hour, you can sit in a quiet area and just do some colouring. It's a good stress reliever. There are a variety of different patterns, as you can see. And then at the back we've got notes and scribbles, so you've got about 10-20 pages of that. So that, as you'd suggest, as you'd guess, is just space for you to put down whatever's in your mind. You might not want to do some specific colouring, you might just want to do some doodles, you might just want to draw some little pictures, you might just want to do some caricatures, you might just want to write a shopping list. You can do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your own book. So yeah, it's just space for you to put down whatever it is that's in your mind at the time that doesn't necessarily fit into the mood diary, doesn't necessarily fit into the colouring. Just a way for you to put down whatever your mind is telling you to put down. One thing that you can do is use it to add extra detail to here. If the notes aren't big enough for you, if you really want to put some detail, just make a little annotation, put a number 1 or whatever, and then number 1 there. Put or put the date on the scribbles thing, and you can link it. So that's one way you can do it. Or like I say, use it as a shopping list, use it as a to-do list, use it for whatever you want. So yes, that's just a quick overview of the Wellbeing Notebook. It's available in A5 as well. Ta-da. Exactly the same, just smaller. I mean, when I'm at work, I always have an A4 and an A5 workbook, so that I can go to meetings perhaps with the smaller one because it's easier to carry, and then I'll use the A4 one at my desk. But whatever suits. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope you find the notebook as helpful as I do, and I hope that it helps you with your wellbeing at work. Thanks very much.